So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make the Longleaf Trace app you see here. Now you may not want your app to look just like this, but by watching this video you will quickly pick up on some tips and tricks that you can incorporate into the app you want to make. So this is the default app when you first create your Easier App account. Granted, it's not much to look at right now, but just wait. In a few minutes, this app will not only look fantastic, but also be a useful tool for those who download it. Now, as with many things in life, there tends to be a certain order in which to do things to achieve the best results. Easier App is definitely one of those things. The first step to creating your own stunning app is to add your content. Trying to style and color your app prior to adding content will most certainly lead to confusion and frustration, so trust me on this one. Add as much content as you can before doing anything else. Now, I'm not going to bore you with typing all the content in for this app, but I will go through the content section to show you what I did. Alright, what we have here is our Longleaf Trace app with all of the content added, but of course with no styling or coloring. So what I want to do is I want to step through the content real quick and show you how I got all these links, this text, as well as the social media links down here. So let's go to content, let's go to homepage, and before I even go any further I want to show you something here. Every tab in the members area of Easier App has a link right here that says tutorial video. And what this video does is it will walk you through each section. So in case you have any questions or not really sure how something works, just watch the tutorial video for that section and you'll completely understand it. So what I wanted to do was add some text to my app. So what I went to homepage, content homepage, text HTML. It opens up this standard WYSIWYG editor. I typed in the content that I wanted and it simply appears right here. Ultimately, we're going to move this content to the bottom, but the default is it puts it right here. I then go to HTML text pages and I added all of these text pages to the app. Easy enough, just click add page, put in your title, change the icon, again another WYSIWYG editor. You can also include your own HTML, but you need to do it right here where it says source code and put your HTML in here rather than here. It will not, your HTML will not function properly if you just type it into the WYSIWYG box. So I added all my custom content. I then went to links to web pages and phone numbers and added the phone numbers and web pages and things like that. You may want to come down and click type and then you select which one you want. Put in the title, change the icon, that sort of thing. Again, tutorial video if you have any questions. I added social media links. Easy enough. Pretty much everything in the content section is fill in the blank. We're basically asking you a question and you answer it if you want to. If you don't want to, then you don't have to and it won't show up on the app. Join our list. I wanted to include that because I wanted to include a newsletter, email letter type deal. Email us form. I wanted users to be able to email, so we put that in there. We had no rating for the Longleaf Trace. We do have addresses in Google Maps. Very easy to do. Just basically fill in the blanks. Any questions, watch the tutorial videos. No custom forms in this app. No scratch-offs. No events, no current events. For demonstration purposes, I just added a couple of photos, but there is a photo gallery. There is no punch card, there is no product or service, there is no restaurant menu, and I did not put a link to the desktop site. When you put the URL in here, what it does is it adds a link to the bottom of the app. And rather than doing that, I wanted to have a link within the app as a link just like everything else. So I've added it here, links to web pages and phone numbers. And then the last thing I did, I went to General Settings, Title and Description, and I added the title of our app. And I'll show you where that is in just a second. Right here is the description used for SEO. Normally I would put something in here. I don't have anything in there for right now. But let me show you what it looks like. Again, this is a preview. This is all the content that we added. This is what it would look like without any styling or coloring. Ultimately, what we want our app to look like and what we will get to by the end of this tutorial video is for our app to look like this. Now that we have our content, we can begin the process of styling and coloring our app. What I like to do first is add my background, whether a color or a graphic. This generally sets the color palette we'll use throughout the app. So we go to General Settings, Styles and Colors, scroll down, go to Background, and then click Background Image. Now this previews some of the tile and full page background images provided within Easier App. To view the entire collection of graphics, you would simply click Tiled Background Images or Full Page Background Images. Now with this app, I'm only interested in the tiled background images, so I click Tiled Background Images, which displays all the tiled images and a big red button to upload our own. For this app, I want to upload my own image, so I just click Upload Image. I find the image I want to upload and upload it. And then I come up here and click Save. And then let's look what we did here. We can see the background behind our text, content, and then we see our background back here, and it sits behind our social media icons and our main links. Now that we have our background, next I want to complete the header and footer. And of course, this is the footer down here, and this is the header area up here. And for this demonstration, I'll be switching back and forth between this app, the one that we're building, and the completed app, so you can see what we're doing here. Now for the Longleaf Trace app, we hid the topmost header buttons, as you see here. There's one thing I want to tell you real quick, is when I scroll my mouse over, it causes a scroll bar to appear, and when that scroll bar appears, it takes up space and it causes these icons to go down a line. What you see without the scroll bar is what it actually looks like. When we do this, this is not what the icons will actually look like on a phone. That's just to let you know what's going on. Now, of course, we hid the topmost buttons, as you see here, and we actually have the buttons here. And on the normal app, we put tabs right here for the emergency numbers and the trail manager number in the header, and in the footer we put a Google map of Longleaf Trace. So let me show you how we did that. Let me hide that. We went to General Settings, Header, and of course this is the title bar in the header, so let's look at that. Let's go to Title Bar Settings. I do want to show the title bar. I do not want to show the buttons. So let's remove the buttons, which removes those buttons but leaves the title bar heading. And then I want to add tab bar. I want to add links to my tab bar. So we'll go to tab bar, add link, and I want emergency numbers. I want to add. I want to add another. I want the trail manager, add. And you see we have these two links right here, but it looks a little different than this. So let's fix that real quick. Let's go to Tab Bar Settings. We want to show the tab bar on all the pages, but what we want to do is we want to move the icons to the bottom. So we move it to the bottom just like that. And now that's beginning to look more like this. Of course, it's not colored. So let's click Save. And we haven't gotten to the coloring part yet. Let's go to the footer, and on this, as you see, we need to add a button to the footer. So we go to Button Bar, add a link, and we want to Google Map of the Longleaf Trace. icons are fine. I'm going to click Add. And let's see what that looks like. And it adds this right here. So now we have our, let me save. We always want to save. And then we go to the main preview and let's click Reload Preview. So now you can see, and let me line all these up so it all looks good here. You see we have all this, we have the tab bars down here, we have the button, same thing with the app right here. We have the buttons in the tab, and we have our button right here in the button bar. So now we're going to move on to the next thing. So the next thing that we're going to do is to create our icons for the home page. And what we do there is we go to General Settings, Styles and Colors. We go to Main Links. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go choose Pre-Made. Let's go look and see what, this is what our links on the home page are going to look like, is like this. So we can actually go to Choose Pre-Made and scroll down to here, and we'll just click that. And of course, now this is becoming a little bit more familiar looking. Of course, the colors are wrong, and we're going to fix that real quick. We need to go to Icon, and we need to change the color here. We need to add a color. I know what color it is, so I just click Add Color. I go in here and I type it in. Then I click OK. And then you can see it does, you see it says blue and that green. And of course over here you'll see it says blue, green, blue, green. It goes in order. So if you just want them all green, remove this. And so my icons are all that color green. I want to make the transparency about 85. That looks good. The border style, I'm going to make that groove. And then I need to make the border color different as well. Then I want to remove that color. Starting to look a little familiar. So in the text content box, I actually want to change the holder size and make it a little bit smaller and see what happens. It moves. Make that 30. It moved. Whoops. Sometimes it's hard to get there. There you go. It just moved the text a little bit closer to the icon. And then we need to go to the text because obviously the text color is all wrong. So let's go here. Let's add the color that we want. And then let's click Save. And then let's go look at our large preview. Let's hit Reload Preview. And look at that. It is starting to look a lot like this. So then we move on to the next. Now I want to style and color the header right here so it matches the header of our legitimate app. So what we do, we go to General Settings, Styles and Colors. Let that load up. Then we go to Header. And then we need to go to Background. And we need to change the background color. And all these colors I already knew what color I wanted. You may have to play with the colors, but I'm just going to type the colors that the hexadecimal code that I know are the colors that I want. And that's the background color. Now I want to adjust the transparency all the way down so now it looks like my background. Then I want to go to title bar. What I want to do is I want to change the font, and I already know what font I want. And I want this font here, so I just click that font. And then I need to change the title text color. Let me change it real quick. Now we can read that. Good, good. Now we need to go to the tab bar, which is right here. And let's see, we're going to make the text size a little bit bigger. Make that a little bit more prominent. I want the text weight to be bold to make it even more prominent. The text icon color, let me change that real quick. And then we need to change the border color. Very good. And the background color. Oh, that's looking much nicer. And then the selected background. And what that is say when you click on one of these tabs, what color this tab actually changes to when it is selected. Right now it's this blue color. I don't want it to be this blue color. I'm going to make it actually the color of the border. So that's the background color right there, and it's a little bit lighter when it would be selected. So now we have our header done, and if we take a look at this, I'm going to click Save. And then we go to the main preview here, hit Reload Preview, so we can see our work. There's our header, looking good. This is our baseline app, so we can see what we're trying to create. Baseline, what we're creating. Getting much closer. Now let's style and color the footer. And what we need to do is go to General Settings, Styles and Colors. Scroll up here so we can see. Then we need to go to Footer, and then Background. And I have all the colors that I want to use for this app, so I'm just going to type them in. That's the background color I want, but I want to make the transparency practically 0. It only goes to 10. But that stay. That will basically fade the foreground into the background. Then we go to the button bar. I want to change the radius to 8. And what I did there is basically I changed the radius here and radiused it a little bit more. Then I want to change the font, and I already know the font that I want to use, so I'm going to just do Control F and search right here. Siren Stencil is what I want to use. Then I want to increase the text size to 14, and that just makes it bigger. And we're going to make the bold to make it more prominent. And then what I need to do is change the text and icon color. And I just want to make that black, so I'm just going to drag that down actually to there and make that black. Then I want to change the border color. need to change the background color. Very good. And then the selected background color, and what that is, of course, is once you click it, that is the color that it will turn to once it's clicked. And we don't want it to be blue, because that doesn't fit in with our color scheme. I'm going to make it that color there. So that takes care of the button bar and the button in the button bar. So now we need to go to there is no tab bar. We need to go to the title bar. The first thing we want to do is I want to change the font. And again, I know which font I want. I want that font. And then we need to change the text color. There we go, and it changed that color right there. And then we need to change the button background colors. And the button border color. And then we need to change the button text and icon color. And then I actually want to change the font. And I know which color I want, or what font I want. Not that one, this one. And look at that. I'm going to click Save. Then I want to go to the main preview here. And then we need to reload preview. And now this thing is looking a lot like what we want it to look like. Very nice, very nice. Next, we need to color and style the content body. And first, let me show you what the content body actually is. Let's go over here and we'll go to, say, Rules. And all of this in here would be what would be considered the content body, as well as this right here that we have on the front page. So how do we style that? Well, let's go to General Settings, Styles and Colors. Then we would go to Content Body. And let me go to the Rules page. And you see right now, this is what it looks like by default. So we need to color this and get it to look like this. So what we need to do, what I like to do first, is to change the background color, because again, that gives me an idea of what's going on. So let's do that. And of course that's really green, and I want to change the transparency of that and tone that down a little bit. Let's go to about 65. And then let's change the text color so we can see what we're doing. There we go. Now it's looking better. And the content spacing, it's on 10. Border radius, yep, there we go, 10, 10, border radius, I don't know, we'll put that on 5. Border size, we'll do 1. So now let's move to our border color. Whoops. our border color. We already did our background color. We've got our text color. We didn't change the font, and let's make the text just a little bit bigger. There we go. Now that looks much better. Let's click Save. Let's go to our main preview. Let's click Reload Preview. Scroll so we can see. And we can see that this is black, and what we really want is white. So what we'd actually do is go to Content, Home Page. We go to the text HTML. And I can see that's a little white already there, but we'll highlight all that. We will come over here to text color and say white. Did that do white? White. There we go. And then save. And let's go to our main preview and reload preview. And then we'll look at our content body. Of course, there's our content body. Let's go to it was join list, wasn't it? Or rules and regulations, my bad. And this is what our content body is going to look like. Now we need to color and style our form elements. And let me explain to you what the form elements actually are. And it's anything that has to do with a form, like labels, input boxes, text in the form, sliders, and buttons. So how we do that is we go to General Settings, Styles and Colors, then we go to Forms, and let's go to a form so we can watch as we are coloring it. Then we go to Labels, and this I want to be black, so I'm just going to drag that down there. So now our text color for our labels is black. That's all I need to change for that. For text input, I also want to make that black, and what that actually is right here. Whatever you type in here is that color. Just as an example, I'll make that red, and you can see what happens there. I don't want it red though, I want it black. And then what we need to do is we need to change our border color. And then I want the divider color straight white. And then my background color, I'm going to change that. And then I want to lighten up the transparency, or make the transparency a little less. Maybe 50%. There you go. I think that looks pretty good there. Just click Save. That's for my text inputs. Now let's go to drop downs, radio boxes, and switches, and this is our switch right here. So the text color I actually want to be white. Of course you can't see it right now. My selected color, I want to change that. We know that's the color it will change to when it is moved over, when it is actually swiped. Border color, and then the background color. And then the transparency, again, I'm going to move that to 50. There you go. That looks pretty good right there. Click Save. Now let's move this up, and now we need to deal with this button. So I'm going to drag this down. I want the color to be black. And of course the border color, change that to the same border colors I've been using for all the other borders. Same as the background color. And same with the transparency. Let's move that to 50%. And there's our button. Click Save. Let's go to Preview, Reload Preview. And then let's go to what it says now. It says Join List. And those are all our form elements, and that's what our what a forms page looks like now. Okay, now it's time to style and color our slide menu links. And let me show you what the slide menu links actually are. When you click the menu button, this slide menu slides out, and it has all of our links, the content for our app. So as you can see here, it's not styled and not colored. So let's go to General Settings, Styles and Colors. Then we need to go to Slide Menu Links. And then let's go to Settings. Well, actually, let's pull our slide menu out so we can see it. Let's go to Settings. And I want to set the border size to 1. And I want to set the border color to this. And I want all of the borders to be that, so let's remove that. Then we go to Icon Content Box. And I want to change the background color. To there. And remove that gray color, so now they're all green like that. Now that's a little too green, so I want to change the background transparency. Let me knock that down to about 70. And then the box size, make that about 78. There we go. And then we need to do the border color. Let's change that real quick. That's all we need to do there for the icon content box. Now let's go to icon. I change the icon color. And let's get rid of this one so all of the icons are the same color. And then I need to change the size to, whoops, 50. There we go. Border width, we need to go to 1. Change the border radius to 5. Border padding to 10. And let's do the border color white. Let's get rid of that one. Very nice. Then we need to go to the text content box. Change the background color. To that green. And then we need to remove that. So it's all green. Then we need to, the background transparency, we need to make that the same as the icon content box, which is 70, so it matches. And then the holder size I need to make bigger. Whoops, that's too big, to about 78. Very nice. And then the last thing we need to do is to fix the text. So I want to change the text color to white. And I want to change the text padding. I want to move the text over a little bit. Move that over to, say, 25. Very good. Click Save. Let's go to our preview. Let's click Reload Preview. Now let's look at our slide menu. It looks pretty good. And that's the color and styling of the slide menu links. Now we need to style and color our social media links, which can be found down here at the bottom. So what we do is go to General Settings, Styles and Colors. Scroll down here. Then we go to Social Media. And I'm going to scroll all the way down so we can see what we're doing. Then we're going to go to Text. And then I want to make the text color white, so I'm just going to drag that over and make it white. I would like to make the transparency about 85. And then I want to make the text size smaller. I want to knock that down to about 10. And that's good there. Then let's go to Icons. And the background, I want to make those social colors. And what that does, of course, is it changes the background to the social media's color. And I want to knock the transparency back to about 95. And I want to increase the size a little bit to, not that big, about 65. I want a border width of 1. And then we're going to knock the radius down a little bit to, I don't know, 34 seems to be pretty good. Then let's do the border color. Let's make that white. And then let's make the icon color black. And now we have our social media links. Let's click Save. Always remember to click Save. And then let's go to our preview, Reload Preview. Scroll down, and there are our social media links. Now what we want to do is we want to rename, hide, and rearrange our homepage links. So how we do that is we go to Content, Homepage, go to Links, and of course all these links are what appear right here on the app. So I want to rearrange some real quick. Well, let's rename them. Join list. I want this to say newsletter. Share app is fine. Rules and regulations. Let's just make that say rules. Walking, hiking, running. How about we just make that walking and hiking. Maps and addresses. Let's make that say locations. And photo gallery. Let's just make that say photos. Very good. Let's click Save. And if you notice, none of these change. It still says join list and rules and regulations, so on and so forth. To make that change, we actually need to save and then reload our browser window and go back to Content, Homepage. And when this loads back up, you'll see that it's actually changed to now it reads newsletter and rules and walking, hiking, that sort of thing. So let's see what we have here. we have emergency numbers in Trail Manager and Google Map of the Longleaf Trace that are buttons on the site, on the page rather. But we also have icons for, you guessed it, Trail Manager, Google Map of the Longleaf Trace, and emergency numbers. Well, we don't need them in both places. It's pretty redundant. So we actually want to hide these icons on the home page, and that's easy to do. We want to hide. It says, to show that icon, we want to say no. Google Map, no, I don't want to show that icon either, that link, nor the Trail Manager, because there's no need to do that because it would be redundant. So let's click Save. Let's go to our preview. Go to Reload Preview. And now we have our links and have the ones hidden that need to be hidden. The last thing we need to do on the home page is we need to move this bit of text down to the bottom so it looks like that. So how we do that is we go to Content, Home Page, and you see these up and down arrows. That means we can move these objects. So we want to move our text HTML below the links, and guess what? It moved it to the bottom there, right above our social media links. Now the very last thing we need to do in order to have our completed app is we need to rename, hide, and rearrange our slide menu links, and of course those are the links that appear here. So how we do that is we go to General Settings, Slide Menu, and then we're going to go to Slide Menu Links, and it's just like the home page links. I'm going to rename these. Instead of Join List, I want to say Newsletter. Well, this just say Rules. I'm going to take the running out of here. Make this say Locations. Make this say Photos. And then I want to rearrange these. So let's see, Home. Let's see, I want Rules, Emergency Numbers, Trail Manager, Google Map, Cycling, Walking, Mountain Biking, Equestrian Facilities, Locations, Share, what am I looking for? Join, yeah, it's right there. Email us, photo gallery, and website. I want to click Save, and then I'm going to refresh that so it reloads. Go to General Settings, back to Slide Menu, and when this page reloads, it will have our changes that we made here. And that's it. That's the slide menu. That is the whole app from beginning to end. And it looks, let's go to Preview, Reload Preview. This is the app we created. And let me go here, and this is the actual live Longleaf Trace app. So that's how we create it. If you ever have any questions, just let us know.